Sushi Live Noding. Today I will teach you how to make some kind of procedural stone composition or arrangement, something that looks a bit like this. Um, this was actually inspired by a post by jitspoe on Twitter. He made it really clear how to make this using displacement modifier and subdivisions. So this is a really good guide. I guess we can try this. Basically, this one I think this one is using remesh and that kind of stuff. So I'll try doing that, but I will be using Blender 2.79 instead of Blender 2.8 because of one thing. With Blender 2.8, the animation and Sverchok, there is something that doesn't quite work, but I'll show you. I'll show you really quick. So this is Sverchok and Procedural Stone, and I'm gonna split this and switch to Node Editor. Go turn on Sverchok, and I will start with a meta ball. And with the meta ball, I will create random vector. Create a bunch of random vectors. So we have just something like that. Increase the radius of meta ball. So we have something that's kind of decent. This one can get us started to make a remesh. So with the meta ball, it's an object, but you cannot use modifier, right? But with Sverchok, you can use object ID out. So this meta ball data can go inside this guy, and the output's gonna be a B-mesh, like a real object. If we use frame, this will change by frame. So we can actually turn off the display of the meta ball. So it shouldn't be selectable and shouldn't be renderable, but still updating. Okay, so this is actually pretty much we are ready to kind of generate a random looking stone. Make the octane depth 3 or 4, whatever you like, but this is really basically what I want to show you. If we want to make like a bunch of them, maybe make 25. Select this guy, file, export, obj, and then create a new folder, SV stones. I'll call it SV stones, and just export the animations and selection only. Export the obj. And I believe it generates the stone. Where's my desktop? Okay. SV stones, kind, obj. Yeah, it's the obj already being generated. So, but that's not really like, it's not a good looking stone like this yet. So by the way, this kind of setup will not work with Blender 2.8's Sverchok yet. There's something wrong with the update, with the frame update, and I think this obj ID out, this part to this part doesn't work on 2.8. Anyway, let's continue with this. I think we can subdivide at this point. Let me kind of follow this tutorial. Subdivide, displacement, and then decimate and subdivide. Okay, subdivide. Let's try actually, like, bring this out like that. Subdivide. If we use Catmull Clark, actually use simple, and turn on the wireframe. If I turn this on and then update, okay, still there. Okay, cool. What we can do, however, here we can use randomize, because we are still inside Sverchok. We can randomize in the, oh, actually we cannot do that because we need the remesh. Unless we bring in the remesh, never mind on that. We want to randomize this part, so subdivide once again. Maybe just use displacement up there. And yeah, I think that's kind of randomizing it, but let's add a texture. So procedural texture. Let me turn off the do not disturb. So with this guy, create new cloud. So that's the default cloud on these objects, depending on the size of the object. And then we can play around with the cloud. You can try hard or soft. And you can use color or grayscale. Color may be more interesting. And then you can also use an empty. Select this guy, and this is displace one, right? Empty. Use the empty for the size of the noise. Okay, that's kind of good to start with. You can play around, just bring this up and down. Let's try adding another displace. So displace number 2, color, cloud. Let's try cell noise. Cell noise is always giving you kind of like a bit squarish, a little bit crazy, but squarish. So this probably doesn't look quite like a stone yet, but you can make changes because still it's procedural, so it's kind of good like this. I don't mind this actually. We don't want to get too detailed too fast. At this point we can decimate, for example, decimate and then reduce it, so we get more like a rocky looking stone. And then at this point you can subdivide once again if you like. Now we are getting into something. The thing about stack, it's a bit hard to see, and then you cannot, sometimes you get lost. Triangulate and subdivide again, subdivide twice or maybe just one time, and then displace. Sometimes I like it to be like a little bit hard edge. Voronoi crackle. Yeah, probably at this point we want to have another control. So subdivide modifier, object, empty number 2. Give it a name, turn on the name. So now we have control over the displacement and the texture, procedural texture that's kind of disturbing the object. Yeah, at this point it's probably a little bit too strong. Oops, yeah. The nice thing about this, of course, it's all still procedural. You can go back to the meta ball and reducing or adding as you need. Yeah, at this point it's not quite there yet. So this kind of thing is more like a random exploration. I mean, you can spend a bit of time to get the stone you like, because I tried this a couple of times and then I keep getting a different result. This is a Blender 2.79, so 2.79 the legacy, and so it doesn't have a nice matte cap like 2.8. Still quite decent. Yeah, let's continue. I can turn off the wireframe. Right, it's kind of stone-like, but it's a little bit too bubbly. A little bit too bubbly for my taste. We can play around with the remesh. Oh yeah, still way too bubbly. Or maybe at this. So I'm actually reducing the remesh, and it looks a little bit better. Maybe because of the size of the stone itself. It's changing. So now we can really tune. We can tune our stone. Displace, of course, I use too much strength, I believe. This is actually not bad. Okay, I think that's the original shapes, and then I'm just kind of randomizing it there, because the next one, Decimate, actually made a lot of reduction. That's actually kind of cool. And then okay, subdivide Cutmole Clark. Cutmole Clark will give you kind of smooth looking stone. If you want simple and keep it hard edge for the next subdivision, that's okay as well. This one is not bad, not too much. Yeah, I think you got the idea. This is let's play around with this number. This is the meta ball. The one I have earlier, I have a different result. It's depending on the noise. Once again, hard edge, Voronoi, Perlin. Okay, doesn't look so good, Perlin. We actually have more noise, but not showing up here. Sverchok itself actually have some procedural noise that you can try. I have a feeling I will have to add another displacement. Okay, now it's getting kind of there, some kind of stone arrangement. This one, if you want to see it quickly, like I said, you can file, export, OBJ, and let's actually do that. So selection only, animation, object, OBJ, and 25 procedural stone being generated. Check it out. Yep. Okay, cool. Turn on Blender 2.8. We can see the result right away. File, save as. Save it in the same folder. Output. File, import. Okay, with the OBJ, if you want to import all of them, like you have sequence of OBJ you want to import, you can then, I mean, you need to use a Python script for that. So let's try. This actually import OBJ. I got this script from Blender Stack Exchange. I think you just Google search and you will find it. Import OBJ based from a folder. Our folder is called SV Stones, I believe. Run the script. It's gonna import all the OBJ, and be careful because the file size might be pretty large. Maybe if it's 5 megabyte per stones, then 100 stone is 500 megabytes. So be careful with that. Yeah, it's basically looking at the path and then the folder name, get the OBJ, and then loop over. So you get this. It's a lot nicer on Blender 2.8. Very, very fancy looking. We can even turn on cavity and shadow. Oh, nice. And then now we can go to Sverchok, and then see they are overlapping. We have 25 of them, so we can use Sverchok object ID selector. Just get all our mesh and then arrange them using their location. So get all the objects and then use a plane 5 by 5, plug into the value. Oops, fail. I'm wondering why it's failing. Oh, location 5 by 5, plug this in, spread them apart. There you go. That's our stone. They are all kind of similar to one another because of our randomizations, but they're also slightly different. Similar but different. Or is it the same? No, it's different. It's kind of nice. You can stack them whatever you like. Like this, you will think, okay, it's quite alright. Kind of building something. Okay, and then you can play around with the matte cap and all the fancy looking matte cap. Okay, that's actually pretty much it. And then you can delete this because this one is only for arrangement. Yeah, so alright, so in Blender 2.8 this setup will not work again, but you can always use Blender 2.79. But this version of 2.79 have issue with sometimes it's frozen like this. So there's a bug, unfortunately, but it's okay. We can deal with that. All right. Thanks again for tuning in, and I guess hopefully this is useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye.